This video will give a very brief summary of the training the average Roman legionary experienced around the time of the late Republic and early Imperial era. The videos and pictures were used to try and capture the armor as it would have looked around this period. However, please note that the Roman legionary armor would change much throughout its existence. The mighty Roman legionary. These soldiers have become almost legendary with their prowess in battle, their discipline, and their incredible strength. But how did they become such powerful soldiers? In this video, we will explore the training of the Roman legionary in a fun and interesting way. When a recruit joined the Roman army, he was given a wooden sword and shield, which were twice the weight of the actual weapons. The recruit was expected to train with these for up to 6 months before being sent to his respective legion. These wooden weapons allowed the recruit to develop his strength as he trained and also helped him to perfect his battle techniques. Alongside battle training, the recruit was also taught other necessary skills such as swimming and setting up camp. But the most important thing that a Roman recruit learned during his training period was discipline. The recruits were drilled twice a day, every day, during their training period. The purpose of this was to instill discipline into the recruits and make them obedient soldiers. The centurions were responsible for ensuring that the recruits followed orders and did not stray from the path of discipline. The Roman soldiers underwent a 4-month training program that began with mastering marching techniques, followed by weapon handling and sparring with fellow soldiers. Alongside combat skills, the soldiers were also instructed to abide by the commands of their superiors and uphold allegiance to either the Republic or the Emperor. After acquiring sword proficiency, the recruits were required to master the use of the pilum, or spear, with the aid of wooden targets. The practiced pilum was twice the weight of the actual weapon. Weapons training held such significance that some areas constructed covered riding schools and drill halls to ensure training could continue during the winter, as noted by Vegetius. If a recruit strayed from the path of discipline, he would be punished severely. Punishments could range from being forced to spend the night outside the protective security of a fortified camp, to being beaten with clubs, to even being stoned or executed. However, rewards were also given to those who distinguished themselves in battle or showed exemplary service. One of the goals of this training was to remove fear from the Roman soldier. Fear, and the panic that often followed, could be a devastating force on the battlefield. The Romans aimed to remove fear through strict physical and mental training. But discipline was not the only motivating factor. The fear of harsh punishment by commanding officers was also used to motivate soldiers. As Josephus said, "They are moreover hardened for war by fear, for their laws inflict capital punishments, not only for soldiers running away from the ranks but for slothfulness and inactivity." According to Vegetius, marching skills were taught before recruits ever handled a weapon. This was because any formation would be split up by stragglers at the back or soldiers trundling along at differing speeds. During the 4-month initial training of a Roman legionary, recruits were required to complete 20 Roman miles, 18.4 miles or 29.6 kilometers, with 20.5 kilograms in 5 summer hours. This was known as the regular step, or military pace. They then progressed to the faster step, or full pace, and were required to complete 24 Roman miles, 22.1 miles or 35.5 kilometers, in 5 summer hours loaded with 20.5 kilograms. After conditioning, recruits underwent weapons training. This was deemed of such importance that weapons instructors generally received double rations. Legionaries were trained to thrust with their gladii because they could defend themselves behind their large shields, scuda, while stabbing the enemy. These training exercises began with thrusting a wooden gladius and throwing wooden pila into a quinton, wooden dummy or stake, while wearing full armor. Their wooden swords and pila were designed to be twice as heavy as their metal counterparts so that the soldiers could wield a true gladius with ease. Next, soldiers progressed to armatura, a term for sparring that was also used to describe the similar one-on-one training of gladiators. Unlike earlier training, the wooden weapons used for armatura were the same weight as the weapons they emulated. Vegetius notes that roofed halls were built to allow for these drills to continue throughout the winter. Other training exercises taught the legionary to obey commands and assume battle formations. At the end of the training, they became a legionary. These soldiers of ancient Rome during the late Republic and Principate eras fought to both conquer and protect their territories, with the support of auxiliary and cavalry detachments. At the peak of their power, the Roman legionaries were widely considered the most formidable military force in the Roman Empire, earning praise from commentators like Vegetius for their exceptional combat skills even long after the classical Roman legionaries ceased to exist.